Hey, yo, what is going on, guys? Got a brand new episode of Marvel Yap for you guys today. We got episode number 73, 2 days in a row. We're going over Datamines, we're going over the brand new season, and we're talking about Snowball Showdown. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. And back from the future, just like we never left, we got 2 yaps in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Here with the hostess, with the mostest, notmydance, doing one of our favorite yaps of the entire month. If my voice does hold up, of course. How are we doing today, Dance?
Well, your voice is going to be under some stress as we did talk a lot longer yesterday than we did think we were going to. But I'm stoked for today as well. It's like you said, it's the favorite. Love doing the Datamine stuff, talking about all the new cards that are going to be coming out. Obviously, there's going to be, just to preface, like, right, all the stuff is Datamine. It is subject to change. Nothing is guaranteed and for certain. But with that in mind, there's a bunch of new cards, a new season that we have potentially a second one we've kind of seen hinted, as well as, and spoiler, a new keyword, a new type of thing, like the when discarded, but not but cooler than just the thing that with that. I don't know. I'm stoked. There's a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff. This also could be a pretty long yap, too. So I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to jump right into it while I get this ready to pull up on screen for you guys. We have some really, really cool stuff. The first thing we're going to be looking at is going to be the Datamine Season Pass for March. Over here, which it looks like we have a new kind of Age of Apocalypse-esque or just apocalypse-centric, Egypt-centric X-Men season.
Yeah. I do think the name of the season, according to like, we'll see other stuff, it actually is called Age of Apocalypse. So
cool.
This is an Age of Apocalypse season. I 100% believe that. Getting the classic Egypt feel. We had already seen some of the stuff kind of hinted with these cards, and Sabah Noor looking to be the season pass card, which, by the way, if you didn't know, this is actually I think it's Apocalypse's real name, I believe is what it is. Like,
when he was like when he was
original
Egyptian
mutant name
kind of thing. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it's that, which is a very cool thing. And then we also have Iska the Unbeaten. And I was looking up some stuff on these characters, as you know I like to do when we talk about this stuff. If I'm not mistaken, Iska the Unbeaten, her actual ability, her mutant ability is that she can't lose fights.
Which is why, like, I think this could be a really cool card conceptually. I think.
Yeah.
So I think the art on this also looks insane.
Yeah. Also, there's a really cool abilities. I'll talk, like, Iska's ability is also really cool with that in mind. But with all of that, that's not even the stuff we should talk about because, like was mentioned, there is a new keyword here in this new season.
We now have objective, and objective completes after the turn if in play with its condition met.
So kind of the way, and after the turn, it basically, at least as of now in Marvel Snap, has meant the same as basically end of turn. So it's at the end of the turn. Maybe it actually will be after the end of turn effects. I don't know. If this card with an objective ability is in play, then something else happens. But it also has to have the objective stated, like what you need with that objective on the card, in addition to what the bonus is. So it's going to be, we're getting a lot of text on these cards because you have to basically put, you need this. You also need, once you do that, then you get this. So it's like, otherwise this would have been like end of turn, if this, then this, which maybe they could have honestly done that, but objective also is a fun cue. Then could happen multiple times, and you only need, and I guess objective would only be, you have to say once per, yeah, objective is a good word to put in here, but it's also cool new idea.
Yeah, it's like kind of, instead of questing, it's like objective kind of thing here, which we already have some like questing cards. So it's another new kind of mechanic, which instead of being like activate, it's kind of not in a similar vein, because I don't know if it can be done same turn. I bet if you had the conditions on the board, you can maybe do it same turn. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet I would imagine that if it would just be at the end of the turn or after the turn, if it was on the same.
Which
I
this
feel like
reminds
you
me
should
of
be-
Noir. Like, I think Noir maybe
Yeah.
originally would have been considered an objective before they added, if it's not met, you then get this to happen.
Yeah.
So I think that's something cool. It's kind of a concept we maybe have seen already, but let's talk about these cards, Dance. What is the very first card we have here now, Dance?
Ensaban Nur, I talked about this. This is Datamine to be the season pass card for February with the objective ability as a 4-cost 5-power stat line. Have a full front row at each location. Then it has a credit symbol. I don't know if that's placeholder or we have to spend credits every. You're spending credits on using the card.
No,
I can't imagine it's actually that.
Please,
I cannot imagine it's actually that. No, if it's actually that, that's wild. But it has the ability transform into Apocalypse Celestials Chosen. It has like a 0 out of 6 to showcase that little bit, which I like. And it should be pretty cool. And then whenever it transforms, we should get a different ability here, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. As a 4/7 for Apocalypse Celestial Shows, don't have the art for this yet. But on reveal, swap the lowest power card in your front row at any location with a card from your deck. So it also rewards you for filling up those front rows because who cares?
That sounds pretty freaking sick.
Oh no, I love it. I think it's awesome.
So it's kind of like a Blink, but it doesn't give you necessarily a card that costs more like Blink does, kind of thing there.
Exactly. Which I'm down. I like that. It is, it could give you technically a card that costs less or whatever. It also isn't guaranteed to give you a card, that will be better. It is just, or even higher power. It's just a different card that will be swapped. But still, overall, a very cool ability. It kind of seems like it's happening again at the end of the turn, but not quite. It's a little bit weird there, but it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, I think I like that actually a lot. I think this is another just really cool concept. It's like a newer kind of thing for Snap. So I'm here for it. And then the next card we were talking about here is, how do you say his name again?
Iska. I believe this is actually Apocalypse's wife.
Oh, okay. Well, she looks freaking awesome.
I think so. I could be entirely wrong here.
But Iska is a 3/2.
You want me to do it for you?
No, I got it.
I could do it for you.
No,
Okay.
no. I got it, Dance, okay? As my voice cracks
It's a
like
3/2
crazy.
with the end of turn ability. If you're losing this location, double this card's power. Awesome. I love that. That's such an awesome ability. This is so cool. Like, this is also a cool surfer card. End of turn deck, obviously. Like, this is just an interesting card. I'm so stoked for this.
And I think what's cool about this too is like, we were talking about how this character, her ability is she can't be beaten. So like her thing is continue doubling. And as you guys know, in this game, any card that doubles normally is pretty good. Poor now for Torch First Steps. But for the most part,
Well, it only happens once for him.
it's true.
Every other card you can do it multiple times, and that's what makes them good.
Yeah.
Torch has the limiting of once per game.
Yeah. But this card looks really cool. The variant we saw for this, and I think this is the super premium season pass. I think from
Again, data mined as such, but yes, right. So again, data mined subject to change, yada yada. If you're surprised by that, I got nothing for you.
And then the next card we have is Juggernaut Horseman of War. We get another Juggernaut card.
Well, we're going to get a couple other repeats of cards here. We already got a copy of Apocalypse. Now we got a copy of Juggernaut with the objective ability, have 7 different powers among your other cards in play, and then credit symbol, which I'm guessing is like that's what happens when it's done. Plus 6 power, which assuming it's on Juggernaut. So as a 2/2 turning into a 2/8, just requiring that you have a variety of power on the board. That's a fair ask, I think.
And objectives can only happen once per game, right?
It does look that way because it's like that's the goal of this card. Unless you had I don't think it would be able to happen more than once. We don't know for certain, but I personally, nothing about this reads as that it's happening more than once.
Okay, and Juggernaut is a 2/2, by the way, so it has the potential to be a 2/8 if you meet that objective.
Yep. Again, it looks like a really cool card. Very simple. I prefer this version to the current Juggernaut that we have. We also, at one point, had a Datamine Gambit, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm hoping to prefer a Datamine version of Gambit compared to the real version that we have in the game.
Oh yeah, this Gambit looks so awesome.
Never mind. No, this is atrocious. Oh god, this card is bust. Is this busted? I don't know.
I don't know if it's necessarily busted, but it is a 3-cost, 4-powered card. Gambit, Horseman of Death, objective. Play 6 total cost of created cards. Randomly destroy up to 4 total cost of enemy cards.
So, important thing to keep in mind here is that it says play 6 total cost of created cards. So, I can't brood because I'm not playing out the broodlings.
No.
Those are being generated. However, at least in my mind, what's his face? Mysterio is exactly, it's just Mysterio. Mysterio, you play, you're done. You're good.
Or you could play Merlin.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So does it count for the whole, like, how does that count it? Does it need it on the board still? Well, no, Merlin wouldn't, I guess it would.
Because this reminds me of the Sentinel skill from Grand Arena, where it said created cards other than Sentinels to be able to boost up all your Sentinels. And Merlin's skills did count as created cards.
True. That's interesting. I don't know about that. That's a fun one. I hope that works in that way. That is going to be...
If it's created characters, then 100% it wouldn't work. But if it's created cards, Merlin's skills are created cards in your hand.
Yeah. No, I guess that would definitely work. That's a cool one to think about. I hadn't thought about those. That should be hopefully pretty fun. Yeah, Gambit. This season looking sick. I like. There's a lot of interesting stuff with these because it's basically right. They even talked about this recently where they were talking about making better versions of these questing cards.
Yes.
And these are like all these are mini quests basically, and that's kind of fun. I'm liking the ideas here.
I also hope that with these cards too, when they come to quest, like these cards don't have to be on the board initially for the quest or objective to start. Like I hope it like maybe retroactively kind of happens, kind of like an ongoing
that's a fair concern.
Noir does. I think that would be beneficial, or otherwise I think it'd be really rough for these.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I honestly kind of felt like you needed that, but that makes a lot more sense that you probably wouldn't. That's going to be interesting.
The next card we have is Sandstorm, which is
Darude.
It's a 2-cost skill, right, Dance?
There you go. It's with the honor availability, adding 2 rocks to your hand, and you give them +1 power for each of your front row characters. Okay, I love the idea of this, but this is not important in the slightest. I don't like the fact that Sandstorm has a dash in front and then capitals on the row, and no other card has. I'm so OCD about that. Sorry. Like, it's not important in the slightest, but I'm just looking and it's different than every other card that specifies row, and I've decided that's my problem here today, and that's not important in the slightest. But I needed to talk about that. So thank you everyone for letting me talk about that. If you'll give me another moment of your time, I'll talk about youtube.com/@Tucker. Now, Darude Sandstorm was an amazing song this time. Very popular, very awesome. And I have found near nothing in my life that is matched the level of awesomeness and just perfection that song did until I found youtube.com/@Tucker and twitch.tv/Tucker. TUCCRR for both of them. Y'all, that place is absolutely amazing. And guess what? The face on that place, which rhymes, is an amazing face that I personally enjoy here and talk about whatever it feels like talking about, whether that be Marvel Rivals, Marvel Snap, or I don't know, he plays Borderlands as well, I think, but I don't know if he does that on stream. But he has a very fun time with a lot of that stuff, and if you do not follow him, I think you should. You should go subscribe over on his Twitch, over on his YouTube, follow him over on his Twitter and his TikToks, or just like his posts there, I don't know. TUCCR, same thing everywhere. Great guy, phenomenal content, phenomenal creator, and someone who I think is pretty awesome. And I think Sandstorm looks pretty awesome as well. Just needing you to have front row characters looks fine. And we are not blind reacting this to these cards. Sandstorm I'm stoked about, but there's a different reason I'm stoked about Sandstorm that we have not gotten to yet. And I'll wait till we get there.
Yeah, Dance and I looked at these cards as soon as they got data mined before we started recording. So we were kind of had a nice like headspace and kind of to think about it, to talk about it with you guys today. The next card we have, which Dance, is a very big Mole Man advocate, is going to be this guy right here.
This isn't the one I was thinking about with Mole Man. I know.
This is not. I know. I was setting you up, but I wasn't.
You set me up. You lied to me, tricked me. Caliban, Horseman of Pestilence. By the way, one of the few repeats of characters, or whatever you call it. Different 3/4 with the objective ability have 3 cards that are 4 cost or higher in play, and then you just afflict the highest cost enemy card with -7 power. So this is an interesting way for Doom 2099 to get a good buff, I think.
Or Scarlet Spider.
Yeah, Scarlet Spider, which might be interesting with the season pass card. We'll talk about that later. I think that this is gonna be interesting. Dr. Doom, like Doom 2099, Dr. Doom, literally just Dr. Doom is enough just to make it so you win with this. And again, the objective abilities happen at the end of the turn, or after the turn. So
yes.
You got to make sure
they're not end of turn. It is after the turn. So just keep that in mind. It is not the same text as end of turn. So it's not like an Invisible Woman for steps works with those fundamentally.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see exactly how all that stuff does actually work with these cards. I like the way this seems like a fair payoff, kind of. It's it's not quite just it's not, I can't say this is a 3-cost card because it does, in terms of its ability as well. And you also need to have the cards that are 4 cost or higher, but then you're also spending a lot of resources to play those cards. And you're not just playing them for the ability, you're playing them also for those card effects. So it feels like there's a lot of different layers to this stuff. And I love all of them.
But I do also like about these, opposed to questing, maybe something for, a Dormammu or, Spider-Man Noir before its change, these don't really feel super restrictive. I feel like you have a lot of flexibility. With a lot of these, of course, some of these conditions are going to be a little bit harder than other conditions. But I feel like you could have more leeway with these, which I think is very important when it comes to, some of these new cards.
Yeah, that's a good point. The leeway of these cards, right? I feel you get there's just a lot of variety in the way that you can play them. I think there's some stuff that some of these past cards that kind of force you to make a full deck around them with Phantom X, or honestly, I think I had heard someone talk about that. I don't remember who. I feel like it was maybe Cam Best who was talking about Warlock and such, where it's you can't just splash this card in a deck. This is a card that you have to actually do a lot of work for. So this is a card that should have some higher stats, should have a lot more options, because you have to have a lot of stuff in order to get this to work. And Caliban is one that isn't so much that. It feels like there's actually very little in the end it's asking you to do, but it still seems very cool in the way that it wants to work. So
it's thinking of a Mega Sentinel, right? A Mega Sentinel is an activate. It targets the highest powered, of course, so it has to be on the board. Yeah. Or in a Jocasta lane. This, if it works the way I hope it works, you could potentially play this later into the game and not have to wait for this to fully set a turn to be able to go off. Let's say you had a Valentina to 6-drop. Or maybe you did Hydroman and you got a 4 or 5 cost. That's a 1 cost.
It is, capital C.
So you play that card out with Caliban, hopefully this ability would proc at the end of that turn. So I think there's a lot of just interesting stuff that I'm excited for with this as we move on to our next card, which Celine actually gets a new card before she gets a rework, which is a 4/3 Celine, Horseman of Famine. She looks freaking awesome in this, by the way. And its objective, have 3 cards with no abilities in play, steal 5 power from an enemy here.
I do like the way this card works. I'll say that. I think this card seems also very cool. I think Selena Horseman Fan feels really cool. And I'm stoked about this card because is it finally the next card? Can we go to the next card? Is it the next one that I want to talk about? Thank you. Oh my god. This is, for some reason, out of all these cards, I don't know why. We're getting a brand new objective. We're getting the horseman, or the brand new keyword which is objective. We're getting all the horsemen. Bro, tell me why I'm so excited for my rocks to be buffed. I don't know why, but Ozymandias, the second I saw this card, I've been so stoked, and I cannot tell you why. I'm not a geologist, but I cannot wait. I love rocks. I love rocks so much. I've loved Mole Man. I like the fact that this is going to be a debris card. If y'all are just listening, you don't know what I'm talking about here. Ozymandias is data mined as a 5/10 with the ongoing ability. Your rocks have +3 power. Mole Man gets a buff. Like I just mentioned, the Rhino, who is a 2/5, debris as a 3/7, both become that's a 2/8 and then a 3/13.
Yep.
Ozymandias is sick. I am so stoked for this guy.
Not to mention Sandstorm also gives you those rocks for full front row cards, you know. So you also
true. Yeah, Sandstorm is also part of the reason why I was talking about that card earlier. But I don't know why. I'm so stoked now for just a rock deck. I'm gonna use all the rocks. I'm putting rocks everywhere. I love it. I didn't know that I was gonna be down for rocks in this new season. But all of a sudden, I'm just going rocks. It's it. I will be rocking this season.
Dance will be farming for collapsed mine or farming for.
Oh, dude, I've never taken a turn with collapsed mine on the board. You kidding me? I'm playing every single one of my turns out. I'm stoked. Be like, oh god, collapsed mine. That sucks. I say collapsed mine. Give.
You put onslaught on top of Ozymandias. It's just
obviously. I'm putting them both underneath. I'm putting Invisible Woman in that lane, and then I'm playing Ozymandias, and then next turn I'm gonna be playing Mystique and what's his face, Chameleon.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
+9 rocks.
True.
Which I don't even need to do the Invisible One for that. I could just put Ozymandias anywhere, and then I go Mystique, Chameleon, and add +9 power rocks. Bro, I'm so stoked about these rocks. Why am I stoked about rocks?
I don't know. Maybe he's a Patriot gamer at heart. Next we have.
I honestly don't care about Patriot. I don't think of that deck.
Probably not. Maybe you don't need him. But
well, I guess you probably need to. You probably should. Sorry. Okay.
I mean, instead of Chameleon, you probably do. And then Ramatut, though. On reveal, 4 cost, 5 powered card. Use 3 on reveals of cards from years past.
Now, this means nothing to me, but I think we set up stuff. We're talking about things, and if I'm not mistaken, there's like a graphic apparently for every single card that apparently works with Ramatut that was data mined.
Yeah, apparently we have this.
Well, okay. Listen, Tuck's voice is dead, so I'm gonna make him read all of these cards. I wouldn't do that. I'm the one who typically fastballs these cards. Arrow, Agent 13, Agent Coulson, Eliath, America Chavez, Antivenom, Ares, Arnim Zola, Baron Zemo, Bastion, Black Bolt, Black Panther, Blink, Blob, Brood, Cable, Cannonball, Cassandra Nova, Cloak, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Crystal, Dakin, Deafening Cord, Destroyer, Doctor Doom, Doctor Octopus, Doctor Strange, Electro, Esme Cuckoo, Fallen One, Forge, Frigga, Gambit, Gilgamesh, Gladiator, Grandmaster, Gwenpool, Hawkeye, Hazmat, Hellion, Hitmonkey, Hood, Hydra-Man, Iceman, Ironheart, Iron Patriot, Jubilee, Juggernaut, Kahori, Kate Bishop, Korg, Laufey, Leader, Legion, Loki, Luna Snow, Magneto, Malekith, Maria Hill, Mirage, Mr. Sinister, MODOK, Mole Man, Moon Knight, Nakia, Odin, Brood. No, not Brood. Sorry. Okoye, Penny Parker, Festus, Polaris, Prowler, Psylocke, Quake, Red Guardian, Rockslide, Sage, Sandman, Scarlet Witch, Scorpion, Selene, Sentinel, Cersei, Shang-Chi, Shauna, Shuri, Silver Sable, Silver Samurai, Silver Surfer, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Stegron, Storm, Taskmaster, Terrax, The Hunger, Valentina, Venom, Viper, Wave, White Queen, White Tiger, Wolfsbane, Zombie Giant Man, and Zombie Sentry. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's a lot.
For Snapchat Fan also has a different ability data mine from, which is strange. It says on reveal, use 3 on reveals from cards released before his time. Which, what do you mean? I don't know what that means. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. We don't have like if it just means from before his time or whatever. But this is interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like this card is. We'll have to see how this actually plays out. I don't know if it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see. This is literally one of those. All right, what are you gonna do for me, boss? You're either gonna win me the game or you're gonna lose me the game. Like,
or you do nothing.
Yeah, or you just do nothing. It'll be a fun card. It'll be a very fun card to see what kind of happens thing. Sure. But it's kind of like morph in a sense sometimes, right? You don't know what morph is gonna hit, so it's just one of those cards. Is this the last card? No, it's not.
No.
We actually have Strife.
So this is actually. So Strife was, and this is listed on the post. Strife was Datamine forever ago, and is another this is another card that I believe had something to do with they fought Apocalypse. I believe we talked about this last time.
Okay.
But with this in mind, this is a card that was Datamine, but actually now has a release date, which is a new thing about it. So whether or not it's actually good is a different conversation. However, Strife has an actual release date potentially in the following month, and I think we do have a list of other cards that are potentially coming out as well. But there's also a bunch of stuff I think next. And do we have a list, an order of when these cards are coming out?
Well,
how does that
stuff
work?
One? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
These are more names data-mined.
Yeah, these are more names that are data mined here. We've talked about, I think, quite a few of these already. I don't think there's anything else to specify here. But
Wolverine Horseman, Archangel Horseman, Polaris Horseman, Storm Horseman, Ascension Bug, Celestial Empowerment, Garrison Kane, Living Monolith. Wow. Return to the Past, Techno-Organic Virus. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Techno-Organic Virus is something that actually infected Cable. That's why Cable had to get sent to the future. But we will see what actually occurs here.
And then this is the Datamine schedule we have.
Yeah, so Datamine schedule, it's not confirmed names to perform. You have an actual image of Living Monolith and Celestial Empowerment, both over there as well. Very small, but that is what we have. With these cards, apparently, Ensaban Nur and Iska, both going to be the Season Pass cards, and then Super Premium Season Pass. Then you've got Juggernaut in here as the other card in Week 1. Then you can go to Week 2, which looks like it's going to have Gambit, as well as potentially Sandstorm. Week 3, potentially Caliban. Week 4, Celine, and then Ozymandias. Week 5, Rama Tut. All the stuff is Datamine, subject to change, even more so than normal. We got no proof. This will be interesting.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that your boy is going to be a Series 4 card.
Yeah, I'm so stoked about that. Makes it even better.
Yeah, so this will be very very interesting. I'm excited to see what happens.
And,
also,
Age of Apocalypse, you can see it top middle.
Yeah, there it is. Age of Apocalypse. Also, Gambit would work with those rocks.
Yeah, Gambit with I do think Gambit with the rocks is interesting. Also, Celine, legitimately with quite a few of just these cards, and you do want filled locations with Sandstorm, so probably Ensaban Nur as well. You can do a full deck just with a rock stuff.
Yeah, you literally have the Horseman of the Apocalypse with Apocalypse. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then what's he bringing about? Just a rocky road. I don't know. He likes ice cream.
He likes ice cream, just like we, I think, like most of these new cards that we have coming out this next season.
Yeah, I will say before we get to specifically the cards for next season, just to talk about, because we also did have the patch today, and that's where we get the information on Datamines. There's a few things in that I want to talk about real fast. In that, for one, Sam Wilson is now an on reveal that adds his shield to another location, which is interesting. Iceman is Iceman now shows you the card that he is playing, or that he freezes. And then number one, which is I'm so stoked about and I'm very interested in. Have you actually opened up the new stuff yet for this with the patch and stuff?
What do you mean opened up the new stuff?
So have you gone into looking at the new this new patch or whatever and all the information in here?
No, I haven't really opened the game. I mean, we've had the game open here, but I think the patch has happened since then.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Would you do me a solid and open up and go swap to that scene? I'm going to show you something that I actually just noticed in the background, just to get us interested in something.
Let me actually restart my game.
Okay, well, we'll show you something I think is really cool that just got added in this patch that I don't know if everyone knows about. I just saw this, and
oh, you like literally just saw this as we are like recording this here?
No, I literally just saw something because I was definitely buying the season pass and stuff in the background. But I clicked something and saw a new screen I've never seen before, and I got very interested.
All right, I've started it up. Okay, we're resetting.
All right, go to your.
Oh, I
go to whatever your.
Oops.
Oops. Oh well.
Okay.
Hey, Echo boosters much? Sorry, bro.
Well,
all right.
I completed
go to any of your custom cards for me whenever you have a second.
Okay, collection.
We'll talk about the Dragon Season in a moment, everyone. Don't you worry.
Go task.
Give me a custom card. All right, so this scene got changed a little bit. You can see this stuff, but I don't want you to actually stick with this scene. And I'm going to even just ask you to jump off of the Yap scene entirely, and you're going to go to the scene that you normally do for this, and you're going to click that top middle button in the middle of your screen here.
What?
Are we getting multiple custom cards?
Wait. Are we going to be able to sort favorites? And then they could change in-game, maybe? Interesting.
I think that, sorry, I don't know if that was a big enough deal to make you do that, but I'm also, it's something we talked about quite a few times, I know, on this.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in the potential of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
but like you did show, there is a brand new season of Dragons that is out in Marvel Snap.
Yes, a brand new season of the Dragons, which we start off with the season pass. Good old Shu Lao. Shu, I thought it was Shao, but apparently it's Shu Lao, the Undying.
I don't. Yeah, that's how they pronounce it in the dev video. Which, by the way, did you see the stuff with the dev video where someone said season drops when, and then Marvel Snap pinned the comment and said it's tomorrow. They meant to say series drops, and they even replied to that comment, be like, wait, no, I meant series drops. Then they edited the comment to say series drops. And then Marvel Snap unpinned the comment and deleted their response.
Yep.
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. I saw people were like, inside of Discord chats or whatever, being like, oh my gosh, did you hear about this stuff that was confirmed? And I was like, it was confirmed? Really? Like, I don't think they meant to say that.
No, that's actually so funny. Unfortunate, but very funny that it turned out the way it did. But we do have this card dance, which, if you guys did not know, the season pass card is a 5/8 on reveal. Get the last character you played plus 3 power for each turn you played 2 or more cards. And I assume it also would imply if you played it on the same turn, you played 2 or more cards, it would add another extra 3 then.
Yeah, so if you play on turn 6 with like a 1 cost or whatever, you would be able to probably give an additional +3. This is the strongest 5-drop they've released, I think, in a hot second, probably.
Yeah, like to Gilgamesh.
Yeah, Gilgamesh was strong.
I mean, Gilgamesh, his season, he himself, like, I'm just thinking the power he gives himself.
Oh,
but
yeah. I'm purely talking like legit, just actual power level of the card, and I'm pretty sure this is the most powerful.
Oh yeah.
Like 5-drop, I think. What's the last 5-drop we got in a season? Let's see. We had before that we had Agamotto.
Man Spider.
Sucked. Man Spider wasn't the season pass card.
I thought you said in a season, not a season pass card.
Oh, it's fair. In a season, yeah. I guess Man Spider, which is pretty good. So you know what? Maybe this keeps up with Man Spider. But season passes, you look at Agamotto, you can look at Black Panther, you can look at Nimrod, you can look at like you mentioned, Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Shu Lao's going to sweep all of them.
Yes, I agree.
This is the card that is going to be busted. It's going to be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's that January card. They want that January card to be crazy. After Scar didn't, land, they wanted Scar, like, a couple of years ago. Then they came out with Iron Patriot, and now they have this. So they're like, yeah, we want to start off the year with a big bang. So I think, yeah, this card's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And then Dance's favorite card of the season is the Super Premium Pass Card Dragon.
No, this is not my favorite card of the season. You know who my favorite card is. I've been very honest about who my favorite card is. However, I think Dragon of the Moon's a bad card, and I'm stoked about it. It's not good. It's a 3/2. This is the Super Premium Season Pass as well. That has the Honor Reveal ability, steal 1 power from even costed cards in all hands. I don't think this card is good, and I think I have a deck that I was doing with this, but I don't think it's going to be actually. I don't think I'm even going to be sticking with the deck, and I think there. By the way, Tuck is looking at something I know. We'll talk about in a second. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. There was I don't know. I have something with this, and I don't think it's going to be as great. The best thing I've thought of as of now, which honestly is, I think, potentially the only way that I want to make this card work, is using Ravonna and the Goblins.
Which I don't think anyone's actually talked about that. I think that is actually a really good way to use it, because this is, like Dan said, it is a lowercase c, so it looks at concurrent cost opposed to base costs.
Yeah, well, assuming it does that. They've had a lot of issues with that stuff in the past. So, it technically, you did see it. It's already come out. We have not messed with any of these cards yet, but it is. We'll see. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if this will actually work the way we would like it to. But I love the art on this guy. It's very cool. Yeah. There's 2 other cards that released today, and then we got another fun thing happening with the season. But I think we'll talk about the other cards real quick first, and then we'll get to the fun thing for this season.
Yeah, no, I think, goodness gracious. You read what I read, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh, no. It was, the creators got a ping about it, that it was happening a little bit,
but you know what? I'm breaking off. We're taking on a tangent here, ladies and gentlemen. We have double split XP for Character Mastery right now, which is probably one of the worst things I think I've heard of the day. One of the worst things I think I've heard of the entire day. Which is,
you don't like it?
No, I don't want increased Character Mastery to, dampen my odds of getting a God Split.
It doesn't dampen your odds. Am I wrong?
It's
the stuff.
Yeah, Character Mastery means you're gonna level up your cards more.
Oh, because you have technically less chances. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. If you only want gold/ink with Crackle, yes, that's fair.
Yeah, that is. I mean, you can get your characters to level 30 more. Yeah. But that is not great news. But we do have Lockheed. Lockheed is potentially some great news releasing for us today, which is a 2-cost, 1-powered end of turn. If you played a 1-cost card this turn, afflict an enemy here with -2 power.
I have heard so many varieties of opinions on this card, and I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, and I'm really interested. Like, I've legitimately heard everyone. I've only heard the 2 things where it's like, this card is going to be insane. This card is utter garbage. And I feel like I've only heard those 2 things.
I think it just depends on what deck you're playing with it. I don't think this card's bad, but I don't think this card's necessarily insane. It just depends. Like, I feel like there's going to be instances where you get lucky to go off 3 times, and then it's a 2/7. And 2/7's pretty good. You get lucky to go off 4 times. I think 2/9 is pretty good. I mean, we thought Chamber was pretty good.
True. That's fair. There's gonna be some interesting stuff there. See what actually happens. I'll be down with this change, assuming it actually feels impactful. And then the last card we're getting released today is Majestic Wingbeat, with the Unreal ability as a 1-cost skill. Give the leftmost card in your hand +2 power. If it's 5 cost or higher, -1 cost as well, which is the much more interesting part of this ability. This seems really fun.
Yeah, no, I've seen people actually really low on this card too, but I think giving a targeted card in your hand +2 power seems pretty good, and then also decreasing the cost of that card if it's a 5 cost or higher, or higher, is pretty nice as well, right? So you could potentially play this instead of Black Knight in that Agatha deck. and have that as something to be able to get Agatha out potentially early. But of course, at the same time, if you do hit Redshift on your Agatha then gives you a 5-cost generated card instead of a 6-cost generated card. So just, keep that in mind because the way Redshift works right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it actually works. But assuming it does do what we want, what we assume the card does by its actual words on it, I'm very interested in this card. These are some really fun cards to start off this season. And I know you've got one deck. I think that actually uses like almost all these cards. Yes. What do you want? You want to start with that? What are you doing?
No, we're starting off with all 3 of your decks today, Dance.
Okay, that's fair.
All 3 of yours go first. Let me see if I can.
All right, I'm down.
Up.
Yeah. So I think the first one is probably going to be the one with Majestic Wing Beat. If I had to Warner a guess, Garner a guess, Garter a guess, guess a guess.
Guess a guess.
I don't know. What is it?
Gus.
I don't know. What's the correct phrase there? Gus. I've heard of Cinderella.
That's that good. I said you better have heard of Cinderella. No. Okay. So this.
Oh yeah. So I've got Xiao Lao the Undead.
Yeah.
Which this is a deck I've already been enjoying for a little bit, and I've kind of had I had a couple other cards in here that kind of just didn't feel great. My 2 cards that I had in this deck actually before were I had Web Sling.
Yep.
And Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man's fun because you can potentially get a turn 2 move trigger so that Prowler can happen. However, honestly, you didn't need that often. And you're also playing a lot of cards typically per turn. So Shu Lao fitting in this deck makes a lot of sense. Also, his name is Shu Lao the Undying. So Shu Lao the Undead it just felt like it made sense. And getting potentially a Majestic Wing Beat to do a -2 to one of these really big cards is awesome.
Yeah, no, Majestic Wing Beat on Joaquim is really good. Also, not just the -2 cost, giving a card +4 power with Joaquim too is really good. And while Web Sling was good to help you move some stuff around, actually getting something that gives you legitimately value like all the time is really good, I think, with Wing Beat, as well as not just being able to proc your werewolf, but be able to help you for later turns. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so stoked for this card. It should be an absolute Shu Lao gonna be busted. I cannot wait for it. It's gonna be very good. I feel like it's gonna go to 5/6 at least, and it'll be fine there still.
Yeah, I think 5/6. They may start 5/7, but I think it'll end up about like a 5/6. I know we're jumping ahead, but or they go back to the original 5/10 +2. They just take away the +3.
Oh god, it's gonna be a lot worse at that point. But we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. I'm stoked about this stuff here.
Well, +3 always gets changed, Dance.
You're not
like Sparky.
Ironheart. What do you mean? It's not busted at all.
Okay. The next dance deck we have here is
the next dance?
This over here. Yeah, the next dance deck. Which, by the way, wait, hold on. The next dance, I mean, not my dance, which is this.
If you're gonna give me a shout out, can we not have this deck on screen? Can we back to the other deck if we're gonna shout me out here? I don't want this deck connected with me long term.
So, if you guys do want to follow Not My Dance, which you guys should want to follow Not My Dance. Dan's makes some absolutely fantastic decks like this one right here, which he'll be talking about how he played a deck similar to this in KM's tournament last weekend and explaining some of his tips and tricks on that. But he also will be doing a deck guide on this deck that will be down on his YouTube channel, which will be down in the description below if you guys want to watch that content, as well as watch him climb to infinite, probably with this deck as well. His Twitch will be down in the description below. Both of those are great sources for you guys to be able to fundamentally understand how to play Shu Lao, as well as how to try and understand some of these newer mechanics for these cards that are releasing this season. Definitely check out Dance's info there, his Twitter as well, where he posts when these decks go live. If you guys aren't already hitting that notification bell on his YouTube and his Twitch, which you guys should already be notified, so you can be there immediately. Definitely check out Dance's info, fantastic content, and very thorough deck guides for you guys, and just content in general, whether it's OTA news, or if you guys just want to laugh and just enjoy some variety content. Also check out Dance's Twitch for those streams as well, but definitely support Mr. Not My Dance there.
I'm very excited. Can I show you something kind of interesting, by the way? That happened. That's again, we're talking like we aren't really hiding when we're uploading, or like when we were recording today, right? We already kind of saw a little bit of that. So there's a deck, whenever a new card comes out, people do like the like a creator does like a guide or whatever for it. Dexter just did one for the new season with Shu Lao, as well as the as well as with Dragon of the Moon. And again, I'm not Dragon of the Moon. I think I have a different idea here. I'm not going to stick on this plan for long. However, I just sent you a link, Tuck. Could you open that link up? Because this is the brand new video that Dexter just uploaded on their YouTube. And if you pause it right here, why do we see the brand of Shu Lao in his thing? That was a Datamine card that isn't released.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. I just felt like that's either a really big thing or Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Kind of weird.
That's a little bit strange there.
But anywho, what is this dance?
This was my original idea for what I wanted to do with Dragon of the Moon. And I thought this might work in terms, like, they said they wanted you to try to do Master Mold stuff. I'm not sticking with it. I'm not. I think I've moved past it. I have this deck. It might be okay. I haven't tested it again, but this is kind of where I'm at. This is where I was at. I have moved past this, but I don't have enough beyond just that. But beyond just Ravonna and Goblins. This is one of the ideas you could potentially go, though, with it.
Okay. I see the vision. I just don't know why this card is a super premium season pass card, but you know, they thought the card
it's
looked
to
cool,
continually knock down the pay-to-win allegations. What do you mean?
That's true. You know what? That probably is it. What about this next one though, Dance? This looks very fun.
This one actually I do really like. I think Milwaukee just makes a lot of sense inside of the Kitty Pride Spice Rack deck that used to exist.
With a Marvel,
I just think it makes a lot of sense here. Yeah, the Marvel Boy is a lot of fun too. I like that. I don't know if Marvel Boy is technically going to be correct here in the end, but I did. You wanted a lot of one cost, obviously, so you could get the consistent triggers. I honestly even wanted to try to figure out a way to put Clea in here, and if I did, it'd be taking out Red Guardian, and obviously the deck gets a lot worse at that point, but I still wanted it.
I think you'd actually take out Marvel Boy and put in like Cassandra Nova, but
that could be that too. Yeah, that could be it.
So you have two different
either way
scalers.
That's fair. I think that's a. I don't hate that as another shout here, but Lockheed's gonna be a really fun card. I like what it does. There's also a world where I really kind of just want to maybe put all of them in the same deck, and I don't know, Tuck. What do you think a deck like that might look like?
So I have built my rough draft for a Shuri Kitty build. So this is what I am starting with here. As if it's not the Kitty line, you have the Man Spider line. And you're building up enough power in this deck to be able to do like a Man Spider kind of situation. And you have an extra turn with Magic, hopefully, so you can Frigga your Man Spider, but mainly you're trying to like Frigga Kitty. So you can have two huge kitties that aren't on the board, liable to Shadow King. So you have a bunch of different options in order to be able to put big power in other lanes. And Xiao Lao hitting a Kitty Pride, it can be kind of crazy. Also, you have Superior Spider-Man to give you extra energy for some of these circumstances as well. There can be also some kind of crazy instances. Let's say you do get like one of the crazy rolls here would be you have Magic, and then you could go into a Kitty Pride Xiao Lao, and then Shuri, that Kitty Pride that had been just got buffed by Xiao Lao as well, to have another big kitty somewhere else. And you have some pretty decent raw stats regularly on the board here too. So like you don't have to just really rely on Kitty just to win, because you've Galacta with big power, Xiao Lao, you can play those in the same lane, and those aren't liable to Shadow King because they're just big power stats. So that's 14 power right there. Just looking at kind of like that.
I like it. This is a different fun place. I feel like I want Hunger in this deck as a very easy superior trigger.
You could. I think you could have Hunger, but I have Agony kind of in here for the superior trigger.
Yeah, Agony does it, but also, because it gets the points onto Kitty directly. Yeah, that's probably a better way.
Or Agony onto Superior Spider-Man if I need it.
Oh, yeah, that's another good shout. Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff here. I think this is God, I'm stoked. If Shuri Kitty comes back, bro, like, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for your video, and I'm hoping this deck makes it as one because like this is gonna be a fun one. I gave you a shout out, but check out his YouTube channel, Ari Tucker. Come on, TCCR.
But yeah, that's what we got for like the new cards releasing today. But there still are a bunch of cards that we still have not talked about for this season.
Not Brand of Shulau.
Not Brand of Shulau. But we do have a bunch of other cards because we still got to rank these cards for you guys.
Yeah, true. We do have to do that bit. Dragon Lord is so this one's weird, right? Yeah. He actually did a double take because I sent him over the stuff and he's like, wait, what do you mean this is on the 11th? This is incorrect. According to what all the information we have, even though there's technically no listed release date for this card, publicly, Dragon Lord is listed as what is it? Dragon Lord is said in the official blog to be released in the what's it called in High Voltage Overdrive. And High Voltage Overdrive, which for some reason didn't have a start date on the blog. I don't know. Everything's dying apparently at Marvel Snap. Is starting on the 11th, a Sunday. Therefore, Dragon Lord will be releasing on the 11th with High Voltage Overdrive.
Yeah, we get a Sunday event, and it lasts a week, at the 11th to the 18th, I believe.
Yeah, and then you still get 2 days of like shop rollover. So basically, it'll end on Tuesday, which is interesting. I guess maybe that's the logic of it. You just like it ends on a Tuesday because that's typically when it normally ends. So probably fine. We'll see how it goes. But again, this is it feels like one of those things that they're like, what if it was on a Sunday? Is that good or bad? We'll find out.
Yeah, but Dragon Lord's a 5/5. On reveal, put a card from your hand here. Think of like the Infinity Ultron Time Stone. It's pretty much
it's just that.
Yeah.
It's just it quite literally is that. I was talking to some people and they're like, this card is really boring. This feels like a card we should have had years ago. I agree. I love that though.
You love that it's a card we should have had years ago?
No. I think the fact that like this is such a simple ability that is a card that we could have had years ago and could have felt at home in the original base game, and we didn't, and we're just now getting, is honestly still really cool to me. Like that feels really awesome. And by the way, I don't know if I like what this card can do. Also because when we'll talk about my boy later, but in the dev video, they listed this card as one of the good synergy cards with it.
Yeah, of course they did. Because we'll see. But then we have Lin Lee Iron Fist.
On reveal, sorry, as a 2/2, on reveal, add the Sword of Fushi, I hope I'm saying that correctly, I don't know, to another location. And this is going to be releasing on the 13th into Series 5 in the snapbacks. And what does the Sword of Fushi do? Well, of course, you know there's no dash in the ability for Lin Lee. However, there's a dash on the sword in between Fu and Shi. I don't know why, but it really annoys me there. Again, me being OCD.
That's actually very funny.
I don't know. It's really not important things in the slightest. But also, what this sword does is, as a 2/2, has the ongoing ability if Lin Lee, I said line apparently, Lin Lee Iron Fist is here, he has +7 power. So with that in mind, that's actually like, this card seems really cool to like, you want to basically move the Lin Lee into the Sword of Fushi's lane. I've also heard just bounce this card or just bounce Lin Lee.
Yeah, I guess technically you could just bounce Lin Lee, and I think this would be an interesting new like token deck. And like I think they're like, you know what, Shang-Chi, 10 rings, they got Lin Lee. Samuels, you can't have your token start on the board. You have to have it on reveal too. You don't get to have the extra fun that they can't have. So
yeah, everyone got limited in that bit. So I think this card is really sick. I'm actually super stoked for it. And I've talked about, I think I've said this with you before, maybe not on the Yap, but I want to be able to put it into the same lane, the sword, however, into Lin Lee's lane. And then you ancient one and get the Tao Lao and you just buff up Lin Lee. So Lin Lee has its own this ability, which just says basically ongoing +7 power.
Which, if you do Tao Lao onto Lin Lee, because it looks at the text of the card itself, right? Like the character, that's how it buffs itself, opposed to, because it changes the text with the Tao Lao.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay.
I believe so. To be fair, I haven't tested that because the card's not out yet. But whenever it does, I'll have to mess with that idea. But that's really the first thing I want to do with this card because that feels like a way to use cards that are typically a little bit worse is always
Mm-hmm.
something a little bit interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be pretty cool to do. Next, we have Finn Fingers Fumerson, and I think you might
What's
be
this guy?
excited
Who?
about him.
Who?
Finger Fumerson.
I've never heard of this guy. I don't know. He seems like a dumb card. Never liked it. No, this is the card I've wanted in the game for years. God, I cannot shut up about it. Fin Fang Foom releasing on the 20th with the stat line of 712 big cost, but with a really big ability. On reveal, gain the power of front row enemy cards here. This is such a cool card because it's not quite you get to win this lane, but it's like you pretty much get to win this lane, but you do. The front row matters a little bit for your opponent. Also, it's like a cooler version of like a tech card because it just says you basically win here, but you can still play around it kind of, as well as it's a 7-cost card, so they have to spend everything for it. There's so much interesting stuff here with Fin Fang Foom. I'm absolutely stoked for it. Is this a card that's probably just going to be in Hella? Yes.
I mean, maybe. I mean, no, I mean, yes, but like also it'll be in ramp and stuff. The thing with Hella that'll be a bit more unfortunate with Fing Fing Foom is this kind of feels like a card more often than not you may want to target where it lands. In some instances, of course, with Hella, it's random stuff go wherever. So like you may not get the maximum utility out of this in Hella, but I still think it is better in it than Scar. So I think like yeah, it'll go in there.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking in general, like you're not guaranteed anyways with Hella to win, but not being able to target what you steal from could also be interesting. Or not steal, gain power from.
Yeah, it isn't steal. You do just gain the power of it. You don't steal the power away from those cards. Very important distinction there. But Fin Fang Foom, absolutely stoked. I'm just gonna be honest with you, Tucker. I'm just my list may or may not be biased with Fin Fang Foom when we get there. I don't know. There may be stuff on that front, but we'll get there.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see what your list is when that comes. And then we got Shang-Chi, Master of the 10 Rings, which say 3 cost, 5 powered, game start, the 10 rings start in your hand. And unfortunately, that game start is like Quicksilver, so it takes away a draw from you. And then on reveal, unlock their potential.
That question was asked yesterday. I thought I had asked it in time. I hadn't. It was asked by who's it? I think it was Heart of the Cards who asked it like literally 5 minutes before me. And then Brady from Second Dinner just said, you got to be quicker to get the first response. And I was very sad about that. Literally said, you got to be quicker than that to me. And I was hurt.
Yeah, you got to be quicker. Which the 10 rings, by the way, when you do play them out, is in 2-1 on reveal. You have one of your other cards here, +1 power. That's it just regularly. And then once you unlock it, it becomes a 2-2. And then it is an end of turn. Give your other cards here +1 power.
Yep. So, gonna be very cool. It will be. I don't know if it'll be good. I'm interested in how detrimental that draw will be because there's only 2 ways. If it doesn't hit a draw, it's busted. If it does hit a draw, don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's real like it or was it? It may be really bad. So we'll find out here exactly how this works. But I'm interested in this card. I feel like there's a lot of potential here with Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. I like Clea. It's a card I've always enjoyed playing, and I'm hoping I can use it here. We'll see if it'll actually be good. But that's currently my copium.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. But now we got to rank them, Dance.
We do rank them, true. So out of all these cards, Tuck, we have 8, right? We only have 8. I always get the number wrong. I always get the number of how many cards we have wrong at this point. So I need to make sure I write this correctly. We have 8 cards this season, and starting with 8. I mean, who's your number 8 then? Let's just go straight. Let's hit that.
The Dragon on the Moon.
Cool. All right. Well, that was a really easy decision because I agree with you 100%. I think Dragon of the Moon's garbage. But number 2, wow, actually, like straight, legit. It's like that could be like 9, 10. Like that could be number 10 just because we don't have the other cards, even if we have the Brand of Shield. It's just such a bad card in comparison. Because now I'm actually having to think. I want Shang-Chi to be good. I'm hoping it's okay. Is it actually Lockheed? Oh my god, it might be Lockheed for me. I think Lockheed might be my...
7.
Yeah, I think Lockheed's my number... I don't know. I feel like it has to be that one, unless I'm forgetting a card. I think it's Lockheed. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with that. Maybe I'll regret my choice later. This is a little bit difficult, right? Trying to think through all the cards, which one's actually like the number one.
I think I'm gonna go Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that'll definitely be my number. That's my number 6, I think. That's my number 6 because it's like I'm so close on it, and I'm uncertain just because that ability may be pretty bad. But I think that's where I'm at with this. Yeah, I think Shang-Chi is my number 6, and then for my number 5, I'm gonna go No, I'll go Dragon Lord. I'm gonna go Dragon Lord here, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going Dragon Lord for number 5. That's because it's fine. I think Dragon Lord's completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
I also just don't think it's amazing.
I'll go Lockheed Dragon Lord.
Lockheed Dragon Lord, yeah. So we got the same like bottom section at least. And then I've got Lin Lee for my number 4 then. Is that...
I think I'm gonna go Majestic Wingbeat.
Okay. That's fair. So top 3 are for both of us. We both have Shu Lao and Fin Fang Foom. And I have Majestic Wingbeat and you have Dragon Lord, right?
Lin Lee.
Or no, Lin Lee.
Lin Lee, 3.
Yes. Lin Lee. Okay. So then I'll put... Majestic Wingbeat, I think, is the next one then. Yeah. Majestic Wingbeat's my number 3. It's right there.
And then are 1 and 2 about to be the same? Is it Shu Lao 1, Fin Fang Foom 2?
So when I was talking about the list that I already had, I meant this list was the one that was rigged in terms of Fin Fang Foom's favor. I think I believe you that Shu Lao will be a better card.
Okay.
Fin Fang Foom wins
for
me.
Gotcha. That's fair.
This is where there's objectiveness always in here. Fin Fang Foom wins because of objectively. I'm stoked about the card. I've been stoked for a while. Yeah. So you've got number 3 then is your Dragon Lord, you said? Or no.
Lin Lee.
Lin Lee, my bad. Sorry. I realized I wrote stuff down twice. Gotta make sure it's correct. Then you got Fin Fang Foom. For what it's worth, if it is just strength levels, like I think I would agree with you there. It is purely bias. But so for your list then, and for myself, we both have Dragon of the Moon at the bottom, but then you've got Shang-Chi Master of the Rings as your number 7, Lockheed is your number 6, Dragon Lord number 5, Majestic Wingbeat number 4, Lin Lee Iron Fist number 3, Fin Fang Foom number 2, and Shu Lao the Undying as your number 1 card of the season. And while I do agree with the top and the bottom of your list, is the middle is where... Actually, no, never mind. I don't agree with the top. I disagree. I agree with your bottom at least. Lockheed is the number 7 for me. Number 6 is Shang-Chi Master of the Rings. Number 5 is Dragon Lord. Lin Lee Iron Fist, number 4. Majestic Wingbeat, number 3. Shu Lao, number 2. And Fin Fang Foom is my number 1 card of the season because I've been wanting Fin Fang Foom for years, and I'm really happy about Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah, and I'm glad that this card's finally releasing into the game for you. But I think our lists are fairly similar, and I think we generally have like a kind of the same take. I'm interested to see kind of how the meta is shaping around some of the releases of some of these cards too, because we do have an OTA next week.
Yeah, next week will be an OTA, which will be the first one we've gotten in about a month, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, by the way, as we're like almost ending a time, I haven't felt like I really need, like the OTA was super needed. I think the biggest things were that it was that Chamber feels really good and Man Spider. But honestly, if each of those lose like a point of power, I feel like the meta's fine.
I don't think Chamber needs to lose any power, though.
You don't think Chamber does? I feel like Chamber's the best. I don't know. We'll do OTA predictions and talk about that stuff more next week. But Chamber's one I've been thinking of.
No, I think it's the double cards that we always have the issue with. Maybe it's Man Spider. We'll have to see kind of how the tournament goes and how many people run Man Spider too. Which the tournament is the last topic we actually have for today on the app. We're gonna be talking about the good old Snowball Fight.
Tuck is going to be doing the commentating there, and it's going to be awesome for him. And thusly, with him doing all the commentating, doing all that stuff, I decided that I wanted to make sure we did 2 podcasts this week so that his voice was ruined for it, and he had no chance of doing any sort of good comment. No, he does amazingly. I'm being facetious, but so there's an interesting rule with the Snowball Showdown. Beyond, like, there's 2 different things. There's one with the way that the points are scored, and the other thing is just what cards you are allowed to use. And you have to have one of these cards in your deck, and no Airshim. Airshim's completely banned.
Yeah, thank goodness. Like, thank the Lord. No Airshim is amazing.
No Airshim is the best part about this tournament. 100%. Like, that is, I don't know how I feel about the rest of these cards, because it's like, so I had seen some people talking about, like, all right, you're like super limited in what you're going to be able to do for this tournament. Like, you only get a couple of decks that you actually have a chance to be able to really mess with. I feel like you've got some more options in these, because I was talking about this a little bit, and I was trying to write down what I thought would be at least like viable if I'm looking at all these cards here. I don't think Dragon of the Moon is viable, nor do I think that the destroy discard archetype stuff with like Phantom X and Wild Child, I don't believe any of those things are going to have any sort of chance of winning. I think
there's there's a better Phantom X Wild Child deck out right now with Airwalker that I think is pretty decent, but I don't necessarily know if it's going to be able to compete with something like a Man Spider.
And that's the biggest thing, the fact that Man Spider can fit in these decks. Man Spider also Man Spider gets to work. Part of the reason I thought really liked it was Man Spider gets to be, you can use Adamantium Infusion, Fastball Special, and Majestic Wing Beat all in a Man Spider deck.
Yeah. You could,
I think
you have to use just one of these 2, which I think,
yeah,
one of the downsides potentially with this too is like you do have to, if you spend resources to get something like this, and I think it might put perspectively how good Shu Lao is going to be. I think the tournament, you're going to see a lot of Shu Lao. And I think you're going to see a lot of Fastball Special. I think the Fastball Special, not even having to have Adamantium Infusion, because like I think the Revival deck, whether it is Zombie Revival or if it is just Monsters.exe, either of those jet decks I think are very great for tournaments. Of course, Monsters.exe is the Sage and Cassandra Nova build that uses Adamantium Infusion instead of going into the zombie stuff. Whereas the zombie World War Z's is, of course, with they've cut Zombie Scarlet Witch for Fastball Specials. So you can keep Venom in the list just because you're not necessarily playing onto that Zombie Scarlet Witch lane a lot. And it's to maximize still some more of that power output and give you some more potential targets and stuff there, because you still do have the hunger, you still have Zombie Fantastic, and you still have Zombie Giant Man. You're still destroying enough with, of course, getting those procs onto Firehair that you don't necessarily need that Zombie Scarlet Witch, because your turn 3 is either Superior Spider-Man or it's playing down something like even like a Sage or Cassandra Nova. You're having one of those to be set up to destroy anyways. So Zombie Scarlet Witch feels a little bit clunkier into those decks when you have some of these other options to really set up. And especially in a tournament setting, I'm also seeing a deck running Shang-Chi. And I think because you're going to be seeing a lot of more Man Spider, it might be you're actually not running Venom and you're running Shang-Chi. And Venom isn't necessarily a necessity as much in that list because you have Fastball Special. And you also are setting up your lanes in such a way that you're only like destroying one target, hopefully more so anyways. So your Phoenix Force is more targeted, or your Elixir is better targeted too.
That's fair. Yeah. I think that's one of the, I think that I expect with like a lot of the stuff you're talking about, but also I think with Adamantium Infusion, I think one of the other decks that I'm also expecting a lot of or maybe not even a lot of, but I think actually has a chance just because, and I saw this argument, Aurora gets to run Stardust.
Yeah.
And that, I think, gives it a chance that it might do well in the tournament. Like, it gets to run that tech card, and that feels real.
Yeah.
Like,
Wiccan Tech is going to be definitely a big factor in there, too. I think you're totally right there. I want to see how many Galacti decks actually are going to be in the tournament.
Zombie Galacti?
Yeah, Zombie Galacti decks, because I think that'll be
Galacti,
interesting.
whatever.
Because I also think Maverick is going to be a very prominent card, because Maverick also is so good.
Yeah. I think Maverick is one I'm also looking at, but I'm also looking at it with I like the Galacti shout. I also like it with Galactus and Fallen One. Like, that's when I'm talking about a deck that I'm thinking of here. There's a deck I've seen before that does run Adamantine Fusion, Man Spider, Fallen One, Galactus, and I honestly think you put Majestic Wingbeat in there, and you've got like a really powerful pile of cards. Because one of the other things about tournament, which we haven't even really hit yet, is it's not like the scoring's all weird here. It's actually based off of how many cubes you have remaining as well. You want to have more cubes remaining, because it's not just win versus loss. It is if I took my opponent down 9 and they beat me by 1, that's actually a lot closer, because you get counted for every single cube you take is a point. Every single cube your opponent takes is a point. And then whoever has the extra cubes remaining gets those also as additional points. So with that in mind, these combo style of decks are going to be very interesting. But when I'm mentioning Galactus earlier, the big thing is that Galactus's surprise factor is awesome.
If it was an open deck list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Majestic Wingbeat, I do like that with Fallen One, though. I do actually like that idea with Fallen One. Just get that out even earlier.
Because then you get that's +2 max energy. Be +3 max energy. So that's a pretty good start just right away, and then you can just go into, you can Galactus, you can Man Spider, you can do whatever you need to there. And that's one of the things actually I do like about this, like Galactus Man Spider. I haven't played that list a lot, but you can just fastball special a lane to get yourself negative over there. Then you Galactus that lane.
Yeah.
And you have no cards there other than him.
Yeah,
fun stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah. So there's some really interesting things. The other cards that we really haven't talked about, Weapon X, Wade Wilson for the destroy stuff. If that makes it into top 8, I'm shocked. I think either of those. They will probably be played, but I don't think they will do well personally. Unless I don't know. You agree with that?
No, I don't think those will, but I do think something like a Weapon H classic discard. Like, I think classic discard is still in a really good spot. Like, discard itself, not Black Knight discard, but like Morbius, like, and Corvus and stuff, Khonshu things. I think that's actually
the only
thing spot.
I think that could kill that deck would be what happens with this, with like the fast special, Adamantine Fusion, Man Spider, Majestic, like what these combo decks are going to get so many points down. Can it stop it consistently is my current question.
No, and it'll be, and that it's matchup dependent, and also Stardust cooks that. But also, if you're running Gambit, if they're playing the Man Spider style deck, that's less cards on the board for them, which is a better situation for Gambit too.
True. And then the only other cards we really haven't talked about, for what it's worth, Chamber. We kind of glossed at Ramp, I guess, but like
Ramp will be
Ramp will be there. I don't think that's a question. And then Lockheed is interesting. I don't know. It's a toss-up on Lockheed. But I do think Shu Lao, if I had guessed for the cards that in this list of the allowed cards that we will actually see in the top, I'm going to say top 8 of tournament. Adamantine Fusion, Chamber, Fastball Special, Maverick, Wingbeat, Shu Lao, Aurora, and Weapon H. I both kind of question Aurora because it gets to be tech, Weapon H because it's consistent. I'm kind of there. I'm not surprised if I see Lockheed. Everything else, I'm like, okay, really? I guess Wingbeat maybe I'm okay with too. I don't know. You're not okay, but like, I'm kind of expecting in that, like, in the top cut of that tournament.
I think Chamber, Fastball Special, and Shu Lao are the 3 main cards I think I'm going to see in the top 8. Those are the 3
That's
main. Fair. I think.
Yeah, main. I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think Maverick is a low-end top 3. of those cards in there, but I do think Shu Lao, honestly, Shu Lao and Chamber, I think we're going to see a lot of. I think the Chamber aspect that makes it so good, like we were talking about earlier too, is it doesn't die to Stardust, and I think people are going to be playing a lot more Stardust as there is more Fastball Special and Man Spider stuff happening, just because people are going to try and offset that as much as possible. And then also Shadow King. I think Shu Lao is better into Shadow King than a lot of these other cards too, because you're not guaranteed to know where Shu Lao is going to add his power to, because it's not necessarily going to be the same card every single time.
Yeah, I think that's another fair shout. We didn't even talk about the bit with Shu Lao, by the way. That's just the note. I guess we kind of hinted at it a few times in the past as well. But the fact that he says the last character played, not just last card, is a really big buff, and I love that about him.
So you could play a skill after the character you played, and then,
oh yeah,
oh really?
Oh yeah, because it says the last character you played.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the card also gets even better with that logic.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if they make it say last card, it's a nerf.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. No, but for it's worth, when we're talking about this tournament, right? Because I did run something similar. One of the things that I had done is I had run a version of that like deck I showed before with Shu Lao the Undead. And I think one of the things that can be good in this tournament is you really want to be questioning the way you want to snap. And I personally, when I played, I enjoyed doing aggressive snaps. I really liked being aggressive in those and trying to like be like, okay, I'm gonna like I bully snap. I would try to be like, okay, I think I'm gonna do decently well here, and I'm gonna bully snap to make you give me either an extra cube or I'm going in, and I think I can do it. And I had one game where I had someone who like they snapped me on turn 6, and I honestly didn't mind snapping on turn 6 in that tournament because again, the extra points you're getting still matter. So for what it's worth, I don't think Boomer Snaps are as bad in this tournament. You prefer that, I think. But someone Boomer Snapped me, and I saw that they had Hulkling. I'm like, all right, Hulkling's a weird card. I got a bunch of stuff here with this. So my final turn I've got Merlin, I got Prowler, I've got all this stuff here. I played only skills. I played 5-6 skills, whatever, on the board. Werewolf bouncing everywhere. Nicholas Scratch getting buffed up. My Joaquim Torres afflicting so many cards with my mines. They flip up their Hulkling. It's leader.
Wow.
And I get 8 cubes.
That's a soul read right there. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then next game I played, someone snapped me on turn 4 for 4 cubes, and I said, let's do this. And then they got their copycat who got my Merlin ability, gave them a non-universal presence, and they got TVA, and I lost 8 cubes. So, you know.
Oh,
it happens.
Sucks. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I had the highs and the lows. So I'm actually really stoked for this tournament. I won't be competing. I'll be modding in this, but Tucker obviously will be commentating, and that'll be over on the official Marvel Snap YouTube and Twitch channel.
Yep.
I believe this weekend, I want to say the time it starts is like 10 EST, 10 a.m. EST?
It starts.
I should know this.
I think.
Yeah, round one begin. Sorry, no. It starts at. It actually starts at 1 p.m. EST. My bad.
Yes, 1 p.m. EST.
No, my bad. I was getting all the time zones confused. But yeah, so 1 p.m. EST on the official Marvel Snap YouTube channel, as well as their official Twitch channel. You will see Tucker, and I believe you're starting it off with Prashan.
Yep.
Commentating in there. And so if you want to give him support, you should go on over there, check it out. If you want to compete as well, the Discord link for the tournament, which actually is also now live in game as of the latest patch, is down below in the description. So if you would like to go check that stuff out, you are welcome to do so as well. But there's a lot of really fun stuff with the Datamines, this new season, new tournament, a really, honestly, exciting start for 2025. I'm interested in how this is going to go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this all shapes up. Hopefully this is the first of many tournaments. Again, this time we had like 5 tournaments towards the end of last year. I would love to have a tournament a month. Would be really, really cool. And I think
I'm gonna disagree there. I'm gonna say I liked what we did last year a little bit, where it was like one every month-ish. Because every month I got burnt. I got burnt out on them very quickly.
Well, maybe one major tournament every other month, and then like a small tournament every month.
All right, continue.
So,
sorry, my retraction has been retracted.
But I'm glad that we're having more competitive Snap, and I think that'd be really cool if they implemented another in-game leaderboard for ranked. That'd be cool, and had more ranked, bonuses and stuff. That'd be awesome. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. We're gonna have Dance send this out so I don't lose my voice before the stream.
I want Tuck to be able to rest his voice. He wants to be able to stream. He wants to be able to do the commentation. So, thank you so much for hanging out to the end of this one, y'all. We appreciate it. Episode number 73 of Marvel Snap. 2 episodes in a row on both Tuesday and then Wednesday. So if y'all enjoyed this double feature making up for, New Year, some flus and just everything going on last week, let us know down below. If you did make it to the very end, let us know by using the word winter in your comment. Let us know you made it to the end of the video by using the word winter in your comment. We appreciate everyone hanging out here. Go check out the Marvel Snaps official Snowball Showdown with the brand new rule set, brand new no Erishim that Tucker will be commentating on Saturday at 1 p.m. EST on both the Marvel Snap YouTube and Marvel Snap Twitch channels. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening over on their YouTube channel. I cannot wait. Have a good one. Have a great one, y'all. And until the next one, peace out.